All right, take two. My fault. Welcome to the first Stock Spotlight.
All right, Stock Spotlight.
Everyone, you know him, you've heard of him. This is Trevor Roberti. He is our intern coming to us from BU, Boston University. He is a freshman,
Yep,
going to be a sophomore. He's doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I messed up the first introduction because of my camera skills. We just threw this setup together. It's going to look much better. And there's going to be a nice Inside Edge Capital sign right there at some point. But
That'd be sweet.
welcome. Good job this summer so far.
Thank you.
Tell us, so you're going to be a sophomore at BU, majoring in finance.
All right. I'm in the Financial Modeling Club and then the BU Finance Club. Financial modeling is like DCFs and like investment banking stuff.
DCF, discounted cash flow.
And then the Finance Club is just like investments in regular stocks and stuff. So I got a decent finance background.
This is a guy. This is a kid. He knows where he's going. He's focused. We're kind of rushing through this because he's got to go get to his real job. He works on the dock. And what do you do on the dock?
I just help people park their boats,
and just
help them tie up.
And just make fat tips. Right?
Yeah, I do pretty well.
He's a good guy. He's working hard, and we're lucky to have him this summer. So, listen, we're just going to do this real quick. We got to get him to his real job. I don't want to say we. I should be passing off his work as mine, but he did a nice profile on one of our holdings in our growth portfolio, which is Cava. It talked about Cava. When was it? Last week or this week? I can't even remember.
It was last week on CNBC.
Last week on CNBC. So we talked about Cava going on. There's a lot of movement in the restaurant stocks. We hold Shake Shack. We traded that a lot. Cava's coming on. There's a lot of stuff in the news right now with Cava and the other restaurant stocks, and more specifically CMG, which is Chipotle. Chipotle lost their CEO to Starbucks. They gave him about $100 million to work remotely, and I listened to his schedule online, and he worked from 9 to 5. I don't know how he operates with that efficiency, but anyways, there's a lot in the news right now with restaurant stocks and specifically consumer discretionary, as there's been so much kind of concern that the consumer's slowing down. They're succumbing to high borrowing costs, and maybe you're going into a consumer-led recession, and then consumer just comes back. So this is a company. I'm going to let Trevor roll from here with it. Let me just do a little screen switch, and we're going to get real small. And this guy gets real big. So this is, again, let me just flip this back real quick. This is only a 1% holding in our growth portfolio. They reported earnings last night, and they absolutely destroyed it. So we're just going to do a little highlight on this. And this is, I don't want to appear like we're only talk about our winners. This is a fun stock. It's a small idea. We're going to look to add to the position. There are some positions that I don't like that I will be cutting from both the SIG and TAG. SIG is the income, TAG is the growth portfolio. So I just want to, appear balanced. But this is a fun stock, really good report. It's up 25% today, and you did a really good job with it. So I'm going to let Trevor jump in, and I'm going to kind of sit back and listen to somebody who's in 2 finance clubs in freshman year in college, which I was not doing that. I was day trading stocks in my dorm room. Go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard of Cava before, Cava is a Mediterranean restaurant, and they're in the fast casual space. So as Todd said, the direct competitors with Chipotle, and then Shake Shack and Sweetgreen too.
Sweetgreen's a new one, right?
Yeah, you might not have heard of Sweetgreen either. It's like a salad place. It's just fast casual. Fast casual is just higher end food, but it's still fast food.
And wait, so that Sweetgreen is a salad place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a new one. That stock is ripping. You look at SG on the charts. They don't have earnings yet, but for some reason the street and the market's giving them a lot of credit. So another one to keep an eye on. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. So Cava opened their first store in 2010. It's only 14 years old. They already have 341 stores just in the U.S. They plan to add 50 more this year.
Which earnings just came through. I think they added, I saw something about 54.
Yeah.
They're going
to add between 50 and 54.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have a huge emphasis on ingredients. They have 38 ingredients, and then you can make over 17.4 billion combinations with their menu, which is just insane. Chipotle, for reference, has 10 or 12 ingredients. And these ingredients are all very high quality. This ties in with the Mediterranean diet, which was voted the best and healthiest diet in the world for the 7th year in a row. So they have a huge emphasis on their ingredients and the freshness of their food.
And we're going to show that. I'm jumping ahead, but that does impact their margins because their costs, and I'm sure there's more food that goes to waste because they have so many different options. But I think the people are and you said, wait, in school the kids are you between Shake Shack, Cava, Sweet Green. Where else would you guys go?
Yeah, those three mainly, and Chipotle a little bit, but not as much. And that picture is the Cava that I go to in Fenway, like Boston area, all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my friend has an unlimited lifetime Cava pass there, so we go there all the time. That's really good. That's that's the first store that opened in Boston.
That's
that
awesome.
one right there.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
This is the first one in Boston. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
they have 2 or 3 now, but
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just said they operate in the highly competitive fast casual space, and they're competing against Chipotle. That being said, Cava's worth significantly more per store, and this valuation really worries investors. So when we did this like 2 days ago, Cava was worth $33 million per store, with Chipotle being only worth $3 million per store. And Cava's stock ripped today, so that's probably like, what, 36? It could be like 36, 37 million per store.
I think it's over 40 now. So
it's just insane.
The valuation is high. And by the way, did you guys hear him say the stock ripped? We're turning him into an industry guy. Well done. So the valuation is significant. And let me just pull this over. Just the move is kind of ridiculous that we've seen. I had hold on 1 second. It's going to take 20 seconds. They want me to sign in here. So you guys should be able to see this.
Candle's insane.
Yeah. So this is the report. This is the reaction to the report today. We put this in the portfolio on June 24th, which should be right about there. Not a great entry point originally, but I did have confidence in the company. We came back, significant reversal in the August sell-off, and then we rallied back heading into earnings, and then this is the response today. So just a huge move up. And as Trevor was saying, like the valuation per store and the overall valuation is probably, when he goes off to his real job, I'm going to look real quick and see, is the valuation excessive? And we might have to take quick profits, which, I hate taking profits inside of a year, short-term capital gains, but if we want to pick stocks that move quick and give us quick returns, like we might have to wind up paying taxes sometime. So you guys know the deal with that. Anything concerning with that, please reach out to Kyle or I, and we can certainly talk about that. But all of a sudden, when we're up 35% of stock in less than a month and a half, we got to think about that. So back to you.
Yeah, so I think I covered just about everything. I was just talking about how much they're worth per store. It's just very worrying for investors, especially like Chipotle has more revenue, they have more market share, they have more stores, they're bigger in every aspect, but yet Cava's worth like 10, 11, 12 times what Cava's worth per store, Chipotle's worth per store.
We got to figure out what's up with that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Chipotle's, I'm just reading your work here. This is all his work, by the way. This is good. Chipotle's revenue per store, 3.1 million. Trump's Cava's 2.6. Okay, got it. And then talk about their profit margins.
Yeah, so their profit margins are slightly smaller in Chipotle's, and that's because of the ingredients for the most part. So as we said, Chipotle has like 10 or 12 ingredients. Really don't have to keep that much in the store. And then Cava has to keep 40 ingredients. And then with the Mediterranean diet, they're much more healthier, they're more quality, more expensive ingredients. This really cuts into their profit margin, their operating margin. And this is why Cava is at like 25%, and then Chipotle is around like a 28% profit margin.
Yeah, and we got to keep in mind too how much bigger Chipotle is than the market cap of Cava. Right. I don't have that number offhand. I should have it, but I'm going to venture that it's 10 to 20 times larger of a company. So what do we got here? So ingredients, high quality. Okay, so EPS. Cava and Chipotle are both expected to see big EPS growth coming years, right? So Cava EPS, guys, is earnings per share, and what the collective analyst community does, they get together. They don't get together, but everyone has, research shop has their own projections, market conditions. They go forward to say, here's the expectations of how this company should grow in combination with guidance from management, and then they aggregate out all the analysts who cover it, and then they lay out the next year, the year after, 3 years out projection. So whether it happens or not, it doesn't really matter. But what does matter is that institutions, big, mutual pension funds, hedge funds, they're acting based on this expectation, and volume follows the high expectations going forward, so the stock continues to trend. And when facts change, when new information comes to market, we'll adapt, right? So it's the difference between, like, we don't trade just based on the fundamentals. We trade based on the expected fundamentals and how the company is expected to play out over the next year or two. But then we'll watch the underlying market technicals. Is volume coming into the stock? Is there trending in the stock? Is the company, are they increasing the expectations, increasing guidance for their earnings going forward, and taking initiatives to grow? So it's a whole process. So that's a little bit of an aside about that. But their expected EPS growth, Chipotle's 25%. Where analysts are looking for 50% in the next, call it 2.25 years in Cava. Okay. Anything you want to jump on there?
That's good.
Okay. And go ahead and take us through the earnings.
Yeah, so Cava reported yesterday after the bell. The street was looking for 12 cents per share of expected earnings. They came in at 17, which is a 42% beat. And they also beat on revenue, 218 million expected versus they reported 233 million. So they beat on the top and the bottom line. And they also, their net income year over year grew from 19.7 million up from 6.5 million. So that's really good growth just in a year. Yeah, and then their same store sales growth, which is something that you really look at in the restaurant sector, rose 14.4% year over year, up from, what was it, the estimate, was 7.9%. So that's also very good beat.
Yep.
And then most importantly was the restaurant traffic. So people have been talking about the consumer slowing and everything. And Cava reported that just in this quarter, the restaurant traffic was up 10%. And a bunch of others in the fast casual restaurant space reported that their restaurant traffic was declining.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. And their adjusted EBITDA also came out higher than expectations.
Yeah. And they also, not in here, but they did increase guidance for 2024 EBITDA, earnings before income tax, depreciation, and amortization. It was in the region of 105 to 110 million for the year, and they upped it to, I think, 19 to 115. So they increased what they expect to make in 2024. So all the way around it, a really good,
great
really good report. So, again, we're gonna have to watch. It's getting a little. TradingView wants me to sign up. It's getting a little spicy here in August. We have a lot more to talk about. I've got a bigger presentation, talk about the general market conditions, what we just went through in the August swoon. We are in August. We have Jackson Hole happening right now, where all the global central bankers are meeting. Powell is there speaking, giving us an idea what's going to happen in the September rate cuts, and the market's attention is there. So we're going to take it off fast food for now, but that's a great job.
Thank you.
Good job,
Thank
dude.
you for having me on the Stock Spotlight show.
Very well done. Well done.
Thank you.
So so there'll be we're going to get a bigger report out. We've got NVIDIA coming up next week for earnings, which is huge. So there's a lot to talk about, but the markets are, I think, in good condition. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I think we're in good shape. Markets pulled back just a touch, but we're about 3/4 of the way back to what we lost in the August swoon with this yen carry unwind, which we'll talk about as well. So, all right, that's a wrap. Good work again.
Thank you.
Have fun at your real job.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.